Be careful, be careful. Look at Cameroonian team. The person who welcomed them back before is not the same person wearing it. This thing can change. It can change. It can change. Why you think you are doing somebody harm by not serving God with your life as you should? I am announcing to you that your dream of generational transformation cannot happen. There is somebody else God will recruit to replace you. Because God says when you are lukewarm, I will give you a few moments. It's either you are hot or cold. But if you are too cold, I spit you out. God spits men out. God spits men out. There is a recruitment going on for those God will use this year. The question is, will you be among them? Now, I'm not saying recruitment for those who attend church. I'm saying there's a recruitment for those God will use this year. In every church, there's a recruitment going on now. The irony is that we often choose men God has not recruited. Then we struggle with them, because there is no grace accorded to them, because they were not chosen. Tonight, open your heart. I began to preach, and I began to summon some people. Pastor PK is one of them. That I began to preach and summoning in my in Lobe Estate. There was a friend of ours called Yannick. Yannick was born again even before me. Yannick was in Full Gospel Church. I was in Catholic Church. You have to listen. I've not started preaching. Yannick was in Full Gospel. I was in the Catholic Church. I gave my life to Christ. I was in Catholic Church. Yannick was in Full Gospel. Pastor Lucas should know Yannick. Many of you here should know Yannick. Yannick used to be on fire. I used to look to them and say, God, why did I give my life to Christ late? But because I realized that I have entered late, I increased my passion to serve God. Just in case, God, if you are choosing who to lead this generation, find me worthy. Then God chose me among them. Then I began to call them that they should be part of the team. And let's do the work. Yannick refused. Yannick said he cannot follow his friend. He cannot be part of that team. We were friends, we grew up together. Long story short, Yannick went to Douala to do whatever and came back and went to a Kondo Titi. And that night, the pastor that I told you about who prayed my impartation was there in a Kondo Titi with him. They were all in Full Gospel. He called me and said, Pastor, they used to call me Profo, please pray, Yannick is dead. Now I need to pray for resurrection for a man who ought not to have died. By the time I was praying, his stomach was out. His body was rotted. I saw Yannick in my dreams for more than 3 years. Every night I slept, I saw us preaching together, though he was dead. I cried. I had to beg God, is it my fault? What should I have done? Should I have insisted? Should I have forced him? That's when God began to teach me, there are people, you put a chain on their neck to serve me. You don't know where you have come to these 5 days. Welcome to a military camp. A military camp. If we don't wake up and put a chain, a yoke on people's neck, there are men who would die, become irrelevant because we are too soft. The Lord gave me a word for this thing, for this year. He said, this year, do not operate as a pastor, operate as a captain. He said, and David became a captain over them. You say your pastor as pastor, you have not seen him as a captain. As I read my Bible, I realize that the Bible is a military book. And I'm about to show you. It's a military book, not a religious book. A military book. A military book. So, two things are happening here. Pastors are becoming captains, while members are becoming soldiers. It's an army camp. Oh, thank you, Holy Ghost. There are a few things I want you to listen carefully, and then we proceed. This is just day one, so I want to let you go quick. But before you go, I want you to think about your life. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are sincerely satisfied with the way you are serving God? Put your hand up. Even me, I'm not. If you are satisfied, then this meeting is not for you. You are bigger than us. Because I who is preaching to you, I'm not satisfied with myself. The theme of these 5 days is the mighty man of David. Now you can remove David's name and put the name of your pastor or your own name. There are 4 things I want you to write down and never forget as we proceed. I've read my Bible back and forth, Genesis to Revelation, several times. Every year the Lord used to command me to read the Bible from a different translation, Genesis to Revelation. Last year I was reading the Bible from the Passion Translation. And then this year the Lord commanded me, you've read enough. Now you are going to produce a translation of the Bible. So I'm producing a translation of the Bible. The reason I said this to you is to let you know that I have studied my Bible a little bit. And I've come to a conclusion. These are some of the conclusions I want to give you. Number one is that according to the Bible, nobody can win alone. From Genesis to Revelation, nobody can win alone. I began to look for champions and winners in the Bible. I could not find one who won alone. Every one of them, whether they were impacted by the Spirit of God, whether God entered them himself, they could not win alone. And I began to ask God. God spoke to my heart. He says, even I, God, am not alone. He's called Elohim, Father, Son, Spirit. Say, nobody can win alone. No matter how gifted you are, you cannot win alone. Trying to win alone is a decision to fail for the rest of your life. Number two, I found out in the Bible that success and victory is a collective effort. Success and victory is a collective effort. Pastors, you guys should rest more. Sit down, we'll stand. We'll stand. Okay. Success and victory is a collective effort. I found that in the Bible. That everywhere victory was recorded, it was a collective effort. Even the boxer who goes alone in the ring is not there alone. He's there with the coach in mind. He's there with all the techniques that were given to him. So even though he's fighting alone, he's representing a system. that without that system that coached him to that point, he will not have that victory. So when I'm talking about success being a collective effort, I need you to understand and believe it. No matter how anointed the pastor is, no matter how anointed the leader is, whether a leader in business or any sphere of influence, if you don't have a team to work with, success cannot be achieved. God told Joshua, I will make your ways successful. When you meditate on the word, you will make your way success. Is that what God told him? Yes. I wish Joshua went to battle alone. God spoke to him and said, meditate on the word and you will make your way successful. But Joshua did not fight alone. There was a team that fought with Joshua. Every victory that Joshua recorded was with a team. A team. Success is a collective effort. Not even Jesus could arrive the cross alone. His successful arrival at Gethsemane took a collective effort. There were men strategically positioned by God at a point where Jesus would be tired. To carry the cross, the destiny of Simon of Cyrene. His destiny was just to appear at a time that Jesus needed help. Otherwise, salvation will not be complete. The salvation story will not be complete. It took a collective effort that there was another woman who understood her own place in the whole business of salvation, called Mary Magdalene, who knew exactly when to bring her oil. Everybody knew when to bring their portion. The salvation story cannot be told without these people. That's why even Jesus said, the story of salvation will never be preached anywhere if this woman's name is not mentioned, because she is part of the team. Why others saw it as waste, Jesus says, no, she has anointed me for burial. For burial. She discerned her own part of the game. She discerned her own assignment. Are you that discerning? You came to church, you can't discern. When it is time for you to pour your alabaster box, you have carried it and kept it in your bank. It's about you. 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 It's about your family. Mary had a brother called Lazarus, but she did not set the oil to cure him. She brought the oil and poured it at the feet of Jesus. It's about you and your family. Everybody had a role to play. Jesus is not preaching successfully just by himself. So how do you want us? How do you want us to get this job done alone? How do you just come to church on Sunday and you are satisfied? How? How you lukewarm and you are expecting it to work? How? Not even Jesus could do it like that. How do you allow only us carry the burden of empty chairs in church? How? Jesus was hungry to preach, but it was not his own job to carry the city to himself. He met one woman at the well who played her part. After that, what did she do? She fulfilled destiny by bringing a city to Jesus. So when you say Samaria heard the gospel, you cannot mention it without that woman at the well. The gospel came to Samaria through one woman. You have met a preacher, but you have not told anybody. Success is a collective effort. Say with me, I will be a part of my team, my church's success. I will be a part of it. When they tell the story of Kogda's success, where will your name be? When they tell the story of Evidence Ministry, where will your name be? Of Zion Ministry, where will your name be? When they tell the success story, will the name be that you were the one standing at the gate compelling men to go away? Or will the story be that you were the one that pulled men to? Will it be that you are among them that sold their own property and hid part of the money to come and lie to the apostle? Everybody will have a story. The question is, what will your own story be? The one we buried? Barnabas sold his own and brought all. Ananias and Sapphira sold it and kept. They also have a story. Success is a collective effort. Success is a collective effort. I want to rush this thing and show you some examples. And then we can pray for today. Is God's positioning your heart right? Yes, this is repositioning now. Number 3 thing. A vision can be captured by an individual, but depends on a team for its fulfillment. A vision can be captured by an individual. In fact, as I study my Bible, God is so fond of speaking to one man about his agenda. One man. So Habakkuk said, I will stand my watch and see what he will say. I will write it down, and they that read it shall run. The year is starting. God calls his men into his closet and begin to speak to them his intention for that family, for that city, for that community, for that nation or generation, with the expectation that there are teams set to run. So when God is speaking to you, you can tell when he starts telling you big things, great things, build church this year, do this year. Do you think God is stupid? Apostle, God cannot tell you to build church if the people there cannot build it. The challenge is that the people are stingy. It is in God's nature to only give you a command when he has made provision. When he told Moses to build tabernacle before they left Egypt, let me tell you, all these people leaving Egypt and entering church, they came with gold and silver. When God is commanding Moses to build, the people have it. It will surprise you how much can come out from this group. But because when a man receives a vision, we often say it is his vision. Pastor, this man's vision. Many years ago, I stopped anybody who ever said Pastor Philip's church. No. Number 4. Are you blessed? God always chooses one man as a leader for an assignment, but always requires them to raise an army to accomplish that assignment. This is where it gets serious. God always chooses one man as a leader for an assignment, but always requires them to raise an army to accomplish that assignment. God will send Jesus, but he won't choose Peter. Come to me. It is the job of Jesus to choose Peter, to pray enough and find the people. I'm coming here. So he spent all night praying to find out. So Jesus said, I choose you. You did not choose me. The problem I am making is that we are trying to allow the people choose us. Okay, I'm not sure. No. Jesus said, I choose you. You did not choose me. You don't need to like me as your pastor. All these things of choosing your own pastor. No. There are people that enter the church at one glance, like Jesus. You can tell who they are, and you should boldly look at them and say, you are dying with me. I chose you. You did not choose me. There is no time. Listen, it's you and I that are mixing it. Show me where Jesus told them to go and pray about it. Okay, you are not ready for me to talk. Say, go and pray about it and see whether it's a will of God for you to be with me. No, I choose you. Say, Peter, pray about it if you can follow me. No, Peter, follow me. I will make you. Yes. See, let's pray about this religion. The way we are using the Holy Ghost to escape divine assignment and responsibility is baffling me. How many men, young men and women, you have allowed to go and pray, whether they are supposed to be part of your army? These are not common messages. I told you, you have come to an army camp. Say, God will now tell me that you should now go to Kumba. You say you should pray about it, whether God is sending you. Okay, so this person talking to you is who? Who is talking to you now? Oh, it's only now you want to pray whether God is speaking. When I told you we were going to marry brother A, you believed. Okay, you didn't pray about that one because it satisfied your flesh.